Paulette on fiveeyes.tv. Today I will be speaking with Gulshan, who is a poet and also a singer. Welcome, Gulshan, to fiveeyes.tv. Gulshan, now I've heard you recite some poetry. Can you tell me how long you've been writing poetry?
I've been writing poetry for quite a while now, but before actually reading it on the air or reading it to the public or to the people, I just used to write and leave it at home. But then my brothers suggested that why don't I have these published, or why don't I read in functions, poetry functions we have and all that stuff. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm reading it out in poetry functions, or sometimes I read them on the air, on the radio,
right,
things like that.
So how long have you been reciting and reading poetry?
For nearly 10 years now.
10 years?
Yeah, I do write poetry in Urdu, Punjabi and English, so I do.
So what made you start writing?
I don't know, I never used to be interested in poetry at all. I only remember Wordsworth or Shelley and all those, but I don't really remember being really interested, going deep into it. But somehow, I just don't know, I just started getting these ideas, so I just started putting them on a piece of paper.
Did it just happen overnight one day?
I think so. I think so.
So you're also on the radio. Can you tell me a bit more about what you do on the radio and how you got involved with radio?
Yes, I'm on a community radio in Southall at the moment. It's in Punjabi and English. We can just speak English and Punjabi on it. I actually answered an advert in a local newspaper of Croydon. It was a radio station just for the month of Ramadan, just for a month it opened. So I answered an ad, and they said to me, when I found the chairperson, he said to me, just come over and we'll interview you. But when I actually went there, he just put me on the board, on the radio, and I was like, but I don't know anything. How will I manage? And he just said, no, put the fader up and pull the fader down.
Oh, really? And how long ago was this?
That was about 10 years ago as well, really.
10 years ago? Everything seems to have started 10 years ago with you.
Yeah, when I had all my kids and I was free to do all these things, yeah.
So, on the radio, what type of program is it?
Mine is the Bhangra show. I just do the Bhangra show. I do take dedications and I do play requests.
Yeah.
And I do, like I said, recite my own poetry as well, and I do talk whatever I have to say, that as well. And then sometimes I play these songs which people, like I said, request, and sometimes I play songs which I've chosen beforehand to play. Sometimes if anybody wants to have a song dedicated, I mean, they can. This is what I do, what I play. But most of my songs are Bhangra songs, because that's my format.
Oh, right.
I can play melody songs, I do. And I play songs from East Punjab and West Punjab.
Right.
So both of the Punjabs I play. From East of Punjab, of course, is in India, and the West Punjab is, of course, in Pakistan. So it's enjoyable. You should listen to it one day.
Well, what hours are you on the radio?
I do Mondays from 12 to 2. I do just one show a week. I used to do 2, but now I'm only doing 1. Because Southall is quite far to go from Croydon.
So do you have a huge following?
I do, actually, yeah. My show is quite popular, and I have to say that I do have a huge following, especially on that side, especially on the Punjabi, in the Punjabi community. Yeah, they're quite happy with me.
So you've actually been singing. When did you know that you wanted to become a singer? When did this start?
No, this did not start 10 years ago. This is very recent. I had always been interested in singing. Paulette, you remember when we used to be in school together? We used to do all, the Christmas. We used to sometimes have those functions, and we used to go on the stage and we used to sing.
Oh gosh, yes. Now you're taking me back quite a while. Yeah, that's right. We used to go on stage.
Yeah, but I've not really had any training for singing. It was just something which I really wanted to do, and I'd been writing songs for quite a while. Some of my songs have been published by various artists of India and Pakistan and British Asians, of course, and they've been recorded by various famous artists. and they've been published by various record companies in England and in Pakistan and
Really?
in India. But I have actually, this is my first album, and I'm happy to say that I'm getting quite a good response for it.
So what actually made you want to sing?
Like I said, this was something which I'd been wanting to do for quite a while. And then,
yeah, but I'm talking about this age that you're at now, this time in your life. Why now?
I think it's the best age. I think this age is the best age because the children have grown up, they're doing their own things, and I have time to do all this now. I actually think this is the best age when we don't have any pressure or rushing home and doing things for the kids and this and that. You're sort of free at this age, more relaxed, more confident.
So it's my time, me time.
It's your time as well, Paula. Go on.
No, I'm saying my time, meaning your time, me time.
Yeah, I think so. I think God has a way of working. I think whatever He plans or whatever He does, I think He plans it well. Maybe my time is now. Maybe it wasn't then when I was more younger, well, I'm still young, of course.
Yeah, of course. This is Paulette on FiveEyes.tv Profiles speaking to Gulshan. We'll be back shortly. Gulshan, can you tell the viewers a little bit about your background? Something about Gulshan.
Okay, I was born in Pakistan, but I came to England when I was really small, and we came to Camberwell first, and I was educated in England, and then I got married at 16. And just before you do ask, it was arranged marriage. I had no say in it.
And how did that work out?
Yeah, fine. Me and my husband, we were fine. We had a good life, a proper family unit.
And how did you feel about that originally, considering that you went to school here for most of your life? Was it something you embraced or was it a shock?
To be quite honest, I didn't like it, but I'm used to that culture. It's been happening for generations. It happened to our parents, it's happened to us. And of course, nowadays it's not happening. We have to ask our children if they want arranged marriage or if they want a marriage of their own choice. But we're the second generation there. I don't think we really had much choice. I think the parents just did what they had to do. So it was, I'm born into it. So it was a bit of shock as well, but it wasn't that much of a shock either. Yeah, so
and as you
I
said,
just accepted it.
You accepted it.
Yeah. Didn't like it, I have to tell you this. I'm repeating it again. It's not what I would have liked to do.
But you went on to live back in Pakistan again.
I did.
How did you adapt to that life after being here for so long and going through your schooling here?
It was hard. It was very, very hard. And also, I had to live with my in-laws. I lived in one house with my in-laws for 18 years, so you can imagine it was very hard.
Gosh.
Yes. And I did want to come back. And we did have arguments, me and my husband, about this quite a lot. But because he had his, understandably, of course, he had his business there, so I could understand. His setup, his family was there, his home was there. He didn't want to come, so I tried to adjust myself in as much as I could into that life. Well, I was from that life, I was from that cultural life anyway, so it wasn't really hard. But it's hard, especially when you go back from England, then it gets hard.
Yeah, because you've got used to the westernised way of living.
Yeah, but I'm glad that I can sort of like combine both of the cultures together, East and West. Yeah,
lovely.
I can, sort of balance it. Yeah.
And what made you decide at this stage in your life to become a singer? Tell me how you got your first record. Is it something you wrote or is it something you heard?
Because I've been doing the Bhangra show for quite a while, so I sort of found out that Punjabi is very much more let's say, in language nowadays, especially with in the Asian community.
Yeah.
So I thought that if I was going to make an album, I would definitely make it in Punjabi with a mixture of English here and there, and mix both of the cultures, the British culture and the Asian culture together, and bring something up that's entertaining, and it will appeal not only to the younger generation but to the older generation as well. So I've tried to make it as lively, as upbeat, entertaining. You can say it's a fun sort of album. Okay. You just listen to it and you just enjoy it, yeah. And yes, I did write all the lyrics myself. And
every track?
Yeah, every track. And the melodies, even the melodies, the composition is my own. And so you can say a little bit of the music is my own as well. But it was arranged by someone in Pakistan, though, the music.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think it's because you were on the radio that really sort of pushed you into becoming a singer?
No, I was writing before I was on the radio. I was writing lyrics and poetry before I was on the radio. And like I said, it was something which I had wanted to do for a long time. But because of so many reasons, like, let's say, being an Asian, family restrictions, sometimes from the in-laws side, sometimes from your own parents' side, or sometimes because you're busy having children and then bringing them up and, all sort of things. And financially, sometimes you can't do these things. And that's all these factors, they came. They were sort of like for not making the album sooner, if you understand what I'm saying.
No.
Yeah. But now I've got the time. Like I said, the children have grown up and there are not so many restrictions anymore. I'm on my own now. Don't live with my in-laws, don't live with my parents. So I could do what I wanted to do. So I just went and I just went ahead and I did it. Like I said before, maybe this is the time, it's the right time.
No, that's fantastic. Yeah. I think it's like a new lease of life, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So what do your children think about you singing?
I don't think they're bothered much, to be quite honest.
Have they heard you sing?
They've heard me, but I think they like their own English.
Or do they like hip-hop music?
Yeah, they like their own, I don't know, whatever, they listen to rap and all that stuff.
Well, what you should do is do rap.
I did try to have rap in Pakistan, but they did not have very good rappers there.
Right.
I did say to them, can you put one or two rap in the songs, please, in English? But somehow they just don't get it right.
Oh, right.
Bit, yeah.
Maybe not at the moment.
Not at the moment, next time maybe. Yeah.
Right, so, okay, you've done your poetry,
Done the poetry.
Singing, radio.
Right.
What about acting? Have you thought about acting?
I'm always getting offers, I have to tell you this.
Really?
Yes, but I haven't really decided anything.
So do you think that's a line?
Yeah, I wouldn't say no to it.
Down?
Yeah, if I was offered something really good, I would go for it.
Gosh.
Yeah, because everybody keeps telling me, everybody who's watched these videos, they tell me that I can act good and I look okay in front of the camera. So I'm hoping once these videos are on air, like on the TVs, and you never know, I might get more offers from Bollywood maybe.
Hollywood maybe. You just don't know. Gulshan, I'm going to ask you to recite one of your poems. Do you know any off by heart? Just a short one.
I write so much, I really and truly don't. You should have told me before. I should have brought something with me then. Oh God. Let me see.
Or you can think about it while I ask you something else. Gulshan, who or what inspired you? How do you write?
Anything that comes to my head. Before, when I was in Pakistan, when I was writing poetry, it was always something to do with my circumstances there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, But then when I came to England, my circumstances changed. I was more free. I was more sort of independent. So it changed. The poetry became a bit more bold, a bit more fearless.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you understand what I'm saying. I could use words and say words which I would not would have used while I was back in Pakistan. So that's it really. I just get inspiration from anything. Whatever comes to my mind, I just put it on a piece of paper.
I know, I mean, I've heard from some writers, they find writing at night, something might come to them in the middle of the night. Does that happen to you?
It happens sometimes in the middle of the night, sometimes even while I'm at work, sometimes while I'm driving. I always keep a piece of paper and pen with me.
Oh, God.
Anyway, even when I'm on the radio sometimes, I'm and I'm reading something, and if needed to be, I can make up my poetry as I go along. without even writing it. I can just say lines here and there.
So Gulshan, what type of music do you like? What do you listen to?
When I was in England, I always listened to English music, right? But then when I went to Pakistan, then of course, obviously it changed. Listen to Pakistani music as well. I listen to Indian music as well. I listen to Bhangra music. I listen to all sort of music because I have to. I'm into into this now. So any music appeals to me, even Arabian music. Yeah, I do listen to a lot of different.
So very versatile.
I try to be, but because Punjabi is my mother tongue, and also my radio which I'm on is in Punjabi, and my album which I've done in Punjabi now. So I'm mostly I'm interested in Punjabi at the moment because it's got a huge market.
Right.
This Punjabi in Canada.
Really?
Yeah, Canada is a very big market, Punjabi market, and England, of course, is especially Southall and the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
Southall and all that stuff. And because my show is more popular there in those areas, so I kept those people in mind.
Right.
When I made the album, I thought to myself, these are the people who will buy me.
Yeah.
Or buy me or not buy me, but they are definitely who will be interested to see, oh, let's see what Gulshan, she presents on the radio, let's see what she does with the singing. And I'm pleased to say that, yes, I get very good response, and I get instant response.
You sound like you've written a lot of poetry.
Poetry and stories, some of my stories, short stories, have been published in various English and Urdu magazines as well.
Oh, really?
And so have the poems as well. But
you sound very creative.
I do like writing, yeah. I do like writing. But now I've gone more into presenting. I even went to Morley College to do a radio production course. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm more into this side now. And
excellent.
Singing is what, like I said, was what I had really wanted to do for a long time. And I thought to myself, right, this is the time, I must do it now. I must go and do it. So I just went to Pakistan. I had no idea what I was going to do there or not. I just took my lyrics with me. But when I went there, I actually found a studio. They heard my voice, they liked it, and they decided to record it. But I said to them, I made them promise. I said, once I've recorded the album, I don't want to take it and just put it home. If you promise to release it, then I will record it. And they promised they would release it. They said it's such a good album. The lyrics were good. They were, like I said, upbeat. They were fun. And it was the nowadays things, in the Punjabi, Bhangra, pop Bhangra, people like these kind of things now. Lyrics without really not too deep meanings, just sing along lyrics like walking in the streets or singing or just listening in the car or things like that. So that's the type of album I wanted to make, and that's the type of album it's turned out to be.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the name of the album?
Right. In the album that's released in Pakistan, we named it Tut Pehna. Now, Tut Pehna means it's just a word for it's just a loving sort of word for someone you love. You can either say it angrily or you can either say it lovingly. But Tut Pehna, what I have used is lovingly. It's about this boy who follows this girl around all the time, and he's always in a way. He comes in a way wherever she goes, in the streets or in the house, and she's sort of like telling him to not to get lost, but something like that. That she's not, but she is interested in him, but she doesn't want to show it. It's sort of like that she's interested.
So Gulshan, how do you relax?
I don't get time to relax because I'm always so busy. It's work, it's cooking, washing, going to the radio, writing, doing this and that and that. The only time I think I do relax is night time.
But you seem to enjoy everything you're doing.
I do. I really do. I do like my life like this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
I think to get to your age, I'm not saying you're old.
Can you stop talking about our age? Not my age, our age. Not in front of the camera anyway.
Your age is how you feel.
I'm only 25.
And you're looking good. You're looking good. Gulshan, thank you very much. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
It's been really a pleasure as well. Okay, thank you. Hi, this is Gulshan on fiveeyes.tv. Keep watching, keep it locked, don't go anywhere. Okay?
Your album, what is your favourite track?
My two favourite are Tut Pehna and also Munda Punjabi. That means the boys Punjabi. But I have to say that I like all of my tracks. Well, I wrote them. I sang them. I made them up. So I have to say I do like all of them. There's another title which is a song which is in English and in Punjabi. It's called I Wanna Spend the Night With You. I quite like that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have made videos of Tutpena. The video of Tutpena we made in Harrow in England, and the other 3 videos we made Munda Punjabi Hai, Main Tere Te Lattu Ho Gayi, and I Wanna Spend the Night With You in Pakistan, Lahore. We made those, and they have turned out quite well. So I advise all of you to watch it on 5eyes.tv. This is what's released in Pakistan. Everybody to go out and buy this album, and I want them to listen to it and enjoy it. And like I said, if you can't find it, then just phone Ledrick and call it. The numbers and the email address will appear on the screen after this interview is over. Okay?